Hi, boys and girls. I'm glad you've joined me today for a read aloud. This week we're reading stories about plants and seeds and animals and how plants and animals have an interdependence. That's where they depend on each other. They help each other to grow and to live. You're going to find from this story how seeds really need animals to help them grow. You're going to find out about bees and birds and squirrels. This is a nonfiction story, which means it's true, it's factual. It's a little different because it has illustrations instead of photographs. But inside, all of the information is real. And you're going to find other nonfiction text features like labels and diagrams. So keep your eyes open for those. Also, we're going to come across words that are unfamiliar to us, so we're going to expand our vocabulary while we're listening. So I hope you enjoy From Seed to Plant by Gail Gibbons. Most plants make seeds. A seed contains the beginning of a new plant. Tulip, daisy, rose, pea, buttercup, corn. Seeds are different shapes, sizes, and colors. Do you see any seeds there that you recognize? I see an acorn. I see a helicopter from a maple tree. A kernel of corn, a sunflower seed, dandelion seed. All seeds grow into the same kind of plant that made them. A sunflower seed becomes a sunflower, and an acorn becomes an oak tree. Many plants grow flowers. Flowers are where most seeds begin. Zinnia, apple tree, dandelion, aster. A flower is made up of many parts. And here's a diagram explaining the parts. Some parts you will know, like the pink parts are the petals, and then the stem. Next to the stem are the little leaves right here called a sepal. And then the big part in the middle of the flower is called a stigma. The sticky part of the top of the pistil is the stigma. So that's the stigma up here. This part is the pistil in the center of the flower. And then here we have the stamens, and the pollen is on the end of the stamens. Those are all important parts of a flower that you're going to learn help it make seeds. Before a seed can begin to grow, a grain of pollen from the stamen must land on the stigma at the top of the pistil of a flower like itself. This is called pollination. Pollination happens in different ways. Often wind blows pollen from flower to flower. So you can see these two flowers are alike, and the pollen that is in them, when it goes to another flower just like itself, when that mixes, it's called pollination. Bees, other insects, and hummingbirds help pollinate too. While they visit flowers for their sweet juice called nectar, pollen rubs onto their bodies. Nectar may be a new word. If I look around the word nectar, I find out that it's called sweet juice. So while the bees and the birds are drinking that sweet juice nectar, the pollen gets on their bodies. Then they carry the pollen to another flower where it comes off onto its pistil. So now the pollen is starting to mix in the new flower. If pollen grains from a flower land on the pistil of the same kind of flower, it grows a long tube through the pistil into an ovule. This is the beginning of a seed. So down here, where the seed cell or the seed cells were, the egg cells were, that's where the seeds begin to grow from the pollination. The seeds grow inside the flower even as the flower begins to die. As the seeds become bigger, a fruit or pod grows around them. The fruit or pod protects the seeds. So you can see the flower petals are falling off, it's dying, but in its place, fruit grows because this was pollinated. Fruit grows, or the seeds grow, and a pod grows around them. When the fruit or pod ripens, it breaks open. The seeds are ready to become new plants. Some seeds fall to the ground around the base of the plant where they will grow. Some pods or fruits open and the seeds pop out. Sometimes when birds eat berries, they drop the seeds. So here again, a bird is helping plant seeds. Other seeds fall into streams, ponds, rivers, or the ocean. There they travel on the water until they stick to the dirt along the shore. And you can see the coconut is going to turn into a palm tree. The wind scatters seeds. Some seeds have fluff on them that lets them float to the ground like tiny parachutes. Others have wings that spin as they fall. Animals help scatter seeds too. They hide acorns and nuts in the ground. Some seeds have hooks that stick to the fur of animals or people's clothes. Later, they drop off onto the ground. So the squirrel is helping to plant seeds. People help to plant seeds too. Do you have a garden? A flower or a bed of vegetable A flower bed or a vegetable garden is beautiful. Seeds are planted to grow in the gardens. The seeds come in small envelopes or boxes. Directions explain how to plant the seeds and care for the plants. The beginning of a plant is curled up inside each seed. Food is stored inside the seed too. The seed has a seed coat on the outside to protect it. So every seed has a tiny little plant inside of it, hidden in there, just waiting to burst open through that seed coat. The seed coat is there to protect it so that little bugs don't eat through and ruin the seed. A seed will not sprout until certain things happen. First, it must be on or in the soil. Then it needs rain to soak the seed and soften its seed coat. When the sun shines and warms the ground, the seed coat breaks open and the seed begins to grow. This is called germination. A root grows down into the soil, and the root takes in water and minerals from the soil for food. So a new word on this page is germination. And if I look around the word, I can go back and find that it says the seed coat breaks open and the seed begins to grow. This is called germination. Another way I remember what germination is from a song I learned. Let me share it with you. It goes like this. Germination, germination, when a seed begins to grow. Germination's what we call it when a seed begins to grow. Hopefully that song will help you remember what germination means. Up grows a shoot. Green leaves grow up from the shoot toward the sun. So the shoot is the beginning of the plant. The plant grows bigger and bigger. The leaves make food for the plant from the water and minerals in the soil, the sunlight and the air all around the plant. Finally, the plant is full grown. Buds on the plant open into flowers where new seeds will grow. Many of the foods people eat are seeds, fruits, and pods. They are full of nutrition, vitamins, and minerals, and they are tasty too. Do you recognize these fruits and vegetables? Are they some that you eat? They all came from seeds. And just think, birds, bees, insects, squirrels, people, all helped plant those seeds. And at the end of our book, there's a science experiment you could try yourself. You can get a jar or a cup, roll up some construction paper or a paper towel or napkin, put it inside, fill the cup with water, and put some seeds around the outside between the paper and the glass. Watch to see the roots grow and the shoots come up. And then you could always transplant into a garden, into a flower pot or into a garden, and watch the plant grow. I hope you've enjoyed our story today. And I hope you will remember the next time you see a plant growing or you see flowers with bees inside drinking the nectar, that they're really part of the whole process of plant and animal interdependence, and they are pollinating the flowers so that more seeds will grow.